Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk, back with another fancy fold card for you, and this time it's a variation on a Tuxedo card using the Magical Day stamp set. And you see lovely Mermaid and Hope Your Day is Magical sentiment. The nice thing about this card is that it folds flat for posting, but you can see that actually that sentiment sits proud as well. You can just see that there, hopefully. So I'll show you how to do that. Obviously lots of colouring and die cutting. Quite a bit of that I've done in advance for you. So we'll concentrate on the card construction as much as anything else, and I would say the colouring I've done most of already. Okay, so on with the card. This is one I've sized so that you can get 2 out of a standard UK A4 piece of cardstock. So the first thing you're going to do is you need to cut a piece of card that is 5 3/4 by 8 1/4. So I'm just going to cut that at 5 3/4. And it's already 8 1/4 inches wide, and we're going to score that at 2, 4, 6 and 8 inches. So 2. I will put the measurements in centimetres on my blog as well, but it's 5, 10, 15 and 20 centimetres. So once you've scored the lines on the landscape position, you need to turn it so that that little section is right at the top. And at 1 3/8 of an inch, you need to cut between the 2 score lines. Over there to there. And then at 2 3/4, just move it along a bit. Just come in with your poker tool and just make a little dot on there as well. Okay, and we're going to do the same in the top corner on this line. And this is just to make it a little bit easier for you, because you're going to line up this top part here and this dot here in the track, and you're going to score down to the middle. And once you've done that, flip it so you've got your dot in the middle and you've got your your corner in the bottom here. If I zoom out, you can see I've just lined that up in the track there, so that dot there, and score again. There we go. Okay. Pop your trimmer away for a moment because we're going to need that in a second. What you then need to do is cut the diagonal down to that cut line, and the same on the other side. And just notch away that end panel there, and then cut down the centre part. Next you're going to come in and you're going to burnish those score lines. So as always, we go with the score line, then you can fold it back on itself in a moment. Those ones are going to come back on themselves and just burnish. Okay. So that's then going to fold to create our card base, like so. So first we need to get some panels to decorate these areas here, and obviously that's easier to do while it's flat. So with your trimmer, you're going to cut a strip of cardstock that's 1 3/4 inches. And a second one as well. And then you want a piece that is 2 inches. And you're going to want 2 of each of these, and one that is 4 inches. So 4 inches, another 4 inches, and then you've got a 2 inch as well left over. Okay. So once we've cut those pieces, your trimmer can go away. That's me clunking my light. Oh dear, I work in quite a small space, it has to be said. Now I find the easiest way to mark these is to pop the corner up on the score line and then just make a mark on the opposite edge where the score line is, and then just cut diagonally. Okay, so that's our one piece. To do our second piece, just layer that on top and cut. So we're going to have two pieces for the front here, and then put those in place. And this is the coordinating cardstock that goes with this stamp set from the spring catalogue. And the lovely thing about it is that it has got sort of, it's glittered. So all of these, you possibly can't see, I should have try and catch the shine. There you go, you can just see there's a lovely sort of sheen to it. So it really adds to the effect, this lovely sort of bubble paper all the way over. So flip it over, and we're going to do the same on these pieces here. If you want to mark it, if you prefer, it's about 1 1/8 that you need to mark from the top of the top down. This is where I find here we go. Okay, so that's this one here, and this is where I do find I kind of have to hold it together to make sure I get it right. At the end of the day, it is only a bit of paper, but it's awful if you were to reach your last bit of paper and discover that you hadn't got it right. So these are our pieces that are going to pop in those two corners. Now the only tricky bit about these cards is really that putting the little bars across, because you're trying to put bars across obviously once the card is closed. So I do find it easiest to pop those bars, at least part attach them while the card is still flat. So for that, you're just going to cut some strips of cardstock which are just about, I think I made them round about 1/2 inch. So just make those 1/2 inch, and you want them 3 inches long, and just score at 1/2 inch and 2.5 inches. And you need 2 of those, so 3 inches, and then score at 1/2 inch and 2.5 inches. And you're going to kind of fold these into like a zigzag shape. So if you can see from the card there, you put them across on the inside and then it folds flat. So if you imagine once our card is made up, we're going to be putting these 2 panels on this back piece of card here. And you want to make sure that they're not coming in front of this V shape. So do both of them. So if you layer them like so, and then those are going to stick onto this other piece over here. So the way to do those is to leave them flat, and then we'll glue them in a moment when we create our other piece as well. That one's a little bit long, so just to stop it snagging, I'm just going to cut a little bit off. Now obviously you can use, as I'm using fuse here, or you can use red tape, as long as it's something that's going to create quite a firm bond. because the last thing you want is for your card to, those pieces to come away. And then the other thing we're going to do is attach that around the back on the outside there as well. And for that I am going to use some of the fine red tape. And the reason I'm putting the join on the back is because we don't want to see it from the front. So I'm going to fold those out of the way slightly. And this is the trickiest bit. There we go. So I've gently folded that. I've had a look down and made sure those are in about the right place for my my mermaids to sit. And then I'm going to come in and burnish it all down well. So that's the kind of trickiest bit, just a little bit fiddly more than anything. But there's our basic card. So now we can come in and pop our mermaids in. And what I do with the first mermaid is I've stamped them and then in memento and come in with some of our markers to colour those. And I'm popping one on just a strip of card, as you can see here. And that means that I can pop her so that she actually sits up proud. So we're going to pop her in like so, so make sure she's going to sit flat. Like so. And then our other mermaid, putting on a slightly shorter strip. Again. Same thing, pop a bit of glue on the end there, pop our mermaid on top, and then pop her in so that she's slightly lower than our other one, but not that she pops out. There we go. If you get any glue stuck, then the best thing to do is pop a little bit of your embossing buddy powder in. But there you go, there you can see our mermaid. So onto the sentiment. And for the sentiment, I'm going to use some ordinary markers and use those to come in. So I'm using here, you'll see I've got the Tempting Turquoise and Bermuda Bay. So I'm coming in with the lighter on the top there and just slightly down onto the main wording. And then with my darker colour, I'm coming in just to sort of blend and do the two. And then I'm stamping this towards the bottom of a piece of card, because when I'm going to come in with my punch, which is a 2 1/4 inch punch, I'm going to line that up towards the bottom, and then I'm going to trim across the bottom to get a flat edge, just to give a slightly different effect. Next I'm going to come in and with a 1 inch punch, just punch 2 circles of cardstock, and I'm going to fold those in half. You don't need to score them. Doesn't have to be that precise. So you've got 2 semicircles, you've got your punch there. I'm going to come in with a little bit of glue on some of our leaves, and these are from the coordinating die cuts as well. So each of the images in the stamp set has a coordinating die. So if you don't like fussy cutting, then you can really get a pretty, you still get a lovely effect with. And then I'm just going to pop these sort of seaweed fronds on the bottom here. Just trim that where it overlaps. I find it easier always to turn over and trim from behind. Next, we're going to bring our card in, and again, using some strong adhesive, put some glue on half of the semicircle and just pop it against the score line in the middle. Okay. And again, next one. Then all you do is pop your glue on the front there, line up, and that will then mean that your sentiment pops up and your card stays flat. Mine must be as square as it might have been. And then all that's left is to decorate with some of our other embellishment images. And I just forgot to do it while it was flat, but I popped in with some little bubbles. And I've also die cut some of the little seahorses as well as another one of our mermaids. So the mermaid's just going to go on with a little glue on the edge there, like so. I'm going to just stamp some bubbles. As I say, not ideal to do it once I've made the card up, but still works. Pop our little seahorses, and all of these I've coloured using the blends rather than markers. But obviously, if you've got markers, then that's absolutely fine. You know, some people prefer the markers. I do like the blends. That I've got them. I wasn't a great blends lover before. And then just to finish it off, you can then come in with some glitter dots, which are these here, and they're in sort of little teardrops and little sort of circles. So you can come in with them, and what I've done is I've just added those. Added it to my thumb. Right. See if we can get another one. Usually, there we go, pick it up with your tool and just add those to the centre of those little bubbles, and it just gives a lovely kind of water effect. It makes it look as if we've splashed some water on there, and then pop little water droplets, and there are actually some little water droplets shapes as well, so you could add those. And there we have a fold flat mini tuxedo card with a sentiment that stands proud. As I said, if you've got a little bit that's sticking, then panic not. There you go. So it just stands like so. There you go. Thanks for watching. Come back and see me again soon. If you want any of the products you've seen on today's video, pop along to my Stampin' Up shop, heidismith.stampinup.net, or along to my blog to follow me for more information and instructions, flutterbyheidi.co.uk. Thanks for watching. Come back and see me soon. Bye.